8% of revenue generated is used to service debt?
Uh, the it's a very critical and tough one. Let's start by being very practical. Prince, if I loan you money today and then you come back next month to beg for debt relief, and I grant that based on certain factors and parameters, then you come back a couple of years' time and then you loan money, you borrow money from me again, and then I loan you same money, and you're coming back to tell me about debt relief. What in your honest position do you think I should do? Grant you debt relief again? That is the question we should answer. Because whether you like it or not, these international communities that we go to borrow these loans from, they also have other things they want to do with their money. And don't forget, some of these loans are commercial loans. You know, some of them are sovereign loans. Some of them are from the World Bank. Yes, we understand. But are you asking for relief for the commercial loans, the sovereign loans, or the ones from the both IMF and the World Bank and their related organizations? You know, these are the things that we need to ask. It's not just enough to go about the Nigerian media houses and brandishing that we are seeking debt relief and all that. So those are the questions we need to ask.
Let's move a little further and talk about the grain situation, for instance. That's a big one. Many Nigerians are concerned about the food distribution. The federal government is going to distribute rice and maize to Nigerians. Would that really solve the problem of the economic situation that many Nigerians have found themselves?
Honestly, Prince, I don't know how much we have in our reserves, but I hope it doesn't go the way of the COVID-19 palliative situation, because the way it is now, there is a serious trust gap between the citizenry and the government, and this is just the truth. You cannot tell us now that you want to release strategic reserves. The question is, how many farmers have been going to the farms of late? How much do we have in our strategic reserves? No, these are the questions we need to ask. I was on a sister channel 2 weeks ago. I was at a TV station, and I was saying all these we want to have strategic reserves released. We want to transfer 8,000 to the most vulnerable. These things are not workable. At the end of the day, as far as it is going through middlemen, a lot of influences will ensure that it does not get to the end user. We saw it with the COVID palliative, and there's always a tendency for history to repeat itself. Not just telling us that they are releasing strategic reserves. What is the modus operandi? How is it going to be released? Is there a template for this, or you are just giving instruction, release grains to the people? We don't want to have the same situation we had towards the end of the last administration, where wood and planks were constructed around the city gates, and then you had the rice paddies mounted on them, claiming to be rice pyramids. And today, the price of rice did not come down, because they told us it is going to be everywhere in the market and it will crash the price of rice. Have you seen that rice ever since then? So the government should look critically at what they are doing and stop this issue of giving people unrealistic hopes, and then at the end of the day you dash their hopes. We had this situation sometime in 2016, 2017, when they moved fuel pricing from 87 naira to 120 something, and they told us now subsidy has gone, and then market forces are now determining pricing and all that. Sang a lot of praise songs, even though Nigerians were fighting this very hard. They said, "Oh, tighten your belt. It is for the good of everybody. Subsidy is gone. We are going to redirect all the funds into different investment and infrastructure." After that time, we started hearing nothing about subsidy, but until the end of this, the last administration, what we kept on hearing was NNPC under recovery, and we budgeted trillions upon trillions upon trillions of Nigerian naira for under recovery. To a point, NNPC was no longer remitting into the consolidated federation account. So we've had that. We've had close to 200. We had 500 and what we were trying to grapple with that, and we were told, "Do palliatives are going to be released, this and that are going to happen." And Nigerians have not even come to the terms with that. And then the next thing is 617. And they're also telling us that it is market forces and that we shouldn't worry. Oh, there are going to be palliatives. Oh, we are going to release strategic reserves. Look, Prince, there is just enough you can do to the people. The rich is not subsidizing anything. They are not reducing their cost of governance. They are not reducing their lifestyle. They are not doing anything, especially our political elite. And then they kept strangulating the ordinary citizens. I mean, there's a point you can push the people and they may just react. Even your so-called ardent supporters. So the government should be very, very careful with the singing of lullaby. They are going to release strategic reserves. They are going to do this. They are going to do that. I am in support of the removal of subsidy, but the way and manner it has taken was not what we anticipated. Nothing stops the president immediately he comes in to tell the NNPC, we are not going to do anything with importation in the next 1 year. So it's either you as the MD of the NNPC, you get the refineries working, while we also expect the Dangote refinery to work. Now, to shield Nigeria from the global price influence, you supply crude oil to all these refineries in Nigerian naira. So whatever the exchange fluctuation is going out there, whatever pricing is going on out there, does not affect the Nigerian market. I mean, this product is just underneath our feet. The only things that are the costs associated to the product is the cost of extracting it and transportation. We are not buying this product. We are not shipping it from overseas or from anywhere. So why should we suffer and bear this very unbearable brunt from not thinking? That is just the situation we are facing. And what I have said now, look at it both economically, politically, mathematically, any way you want to look at it will work. Give us a timeline. So the nation begins to prepare itself ahead of that timeline, that within your first year in office, this will go. And we will all work towards it together.
Okay, let's look at this. With the foreign exchange, the forex markets going up, prices or the forex rates going up as much as 860, 870, even 880. Nigerians are worried. The MPC meeting is expected to take place tomorrow. That's the Monetary Policy Committee meeting expected to take place tomorrow. Inflation by the Nigeria National Bureau of Statistics is at 22.7%. Fitch is saying that inflation in the country would go up to about 25% by the third quarter or fourth quarter of this year. What do you make of? What do you think would be the outcome of this MPC meeting? Would we have further tightening of the monetary policy rates, or what do you expect to be the outcome of that meeting tomorrow?
Economically, this is simple. Interest rate is going to be increased. Economically, interest rates will be increased. When there is rising inflation, you try to curb monetary activities within the economy. So you raise interest rates. Raising interest rates will mean a lot of people will probably slow down on their spendings and borrowings. So this is what we are going to see from the Monetary Policy Committee. If for anything, they increase interest rates. And this is also not good for us, because we are looking at one product that is like a master key that determines the pricing of virtually everything in the country. It has gone up way over 200%. What am I saying 200%? About close to 300%, even more than 300% increment. So if you have such a situation and the NBS is telling us that inflation may go up just 25%, I think they should go into the real markets and see that things are really doubling up already. So inflation is already hitting 100%, and that is the truth. You check your ordinary transportation from maybe your location to another location, see that the pricing has more than doubled. That does not reflect a 25% increment. You check a cost of goods in the market, a lot of them are way over 50% now. And I haven't even said that we have a situation where the distribution companies, I mean electricity distribution companies, are increasing tariffs. And one thing has remained constant in the face of all this: the minimum wage of the average Nigerian worker. So don't expect, the least they can do as an MPC is to keep interest rates stable. I mean, unchanged, to leave it unchanged. But I foresee a situation where they are going to increase interest rate, no matter how many basis points that will be. But interest rates may likely increase. So for the man who is trying to go and borrow from the bank, well, you may begin to look at borrowing at a higher interest rate. Because if the baseline interest is increased, then every other thing will increase. So that's just it. Commercial loans will increase, personal loans will increase, mortgage loans, their interest will be increased, all of that.
Well said. Let's look at the reality for most Nigerians today. For most Nigerians, like you mentioned, the salaries and remuneration has remained the same. NLC is canvassing a 200% increment, in salaries. The federal government has said maybe living wage may be considered maybe 200,000, who knows? But that hasn't been implemented yet. But then, what are the practical ways for an average Nigerian who, let's look at the reality on ground. Most Nigerians are unemployed. Those who are employed are mostly underemployed. And then, those who have some sort of employment have dependents who they cater for. In a situation where inflation is biting harder, what do you think would be the solution, the quick, short-term solution to some of these problems? Some people have canvassed opening of the borders for food items and on banning of some food items on the, import ban by the CBN. Let's open up. Let's say, like for instance, rice importation. For instance, some people are saying open up the borders. Let rice and other food commodities flood the market for now, and so that Nigerians will be able to, afford these products. Um, and that would ease the burden for them. What do you think?
I am in total support of this because we found ourselves in this situation. Right now, if they are telling us market forces, so they should open up all the borders, unban everything that has been banned. Unfortunately, that is where we have gotten ourselves to. We were expecting that by now we would have been a highly producing nation, but you see what has been ravishing all our rural areas: banditry, killings of people here and there, farmers not being able to go to farm, food shortages, prices of food items hitting the roofs. So in the face of all of this, we are left with no other option but to open up our borders. And once these borders are open, food items can flood into the market. We now have more goods chasing after fewer money. Price ordinarily will drop. Of course, it is a simple economic terminology. When supply is more than demand, pricings will drop. But as far as we have a status quo, prices are bound to continue to go up. So this is the situation.
Well said. Let's bring in our callers now. I'd have to let you go off early because I know you have other things to attend to. Join the conversation if you've been listening and you have contributions or questions to ask, or even your submissions to make. Call 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888 are the numbers to call. SMS and WhatsApp messages go to 090-9705-4450. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Prince.
Good morning, Moses. Good to have you.
Thank you. God bless you. How was your weekend?
Well, it was good. Thank you for asking.
I want to appreciate your best. You have brought up great analysis on what is happening on the ground in this country. That point is the only keynote that can avenge us from this food crisis that we are facing today. What we are producing is not enough to meet the million Nigerians on the ground. What we are producing, the high cost, people cannot buy. So when these borders are open, at least there will be a competitive market. Look at the rice. The local rice that I took last week, the stone damaged my teeth. Imagine. And this rice we bought was 1,100. What are we saying? Is there anything that really helps the ordinary Nigerians? So if I believe, according to the analysis your guests just gave out, it's going to be a help. Because going to the silo or bringing out food will not solve this. Even the palliative that was given during COVID-19, you know that some of them were damaged, some of them were outdated, some of them were outdated. So some of us cannot even take it. And even the palliative was just, the beans is just only one test. So how do you expect this thing to advance the entire family? So the last solution to this problem on the ground, to settle this food crisis, is to open these borders.
Okay.
Just last week I had in news that people that are coming in with this rice on a bike, they shoot them and kill some of them. Why? So thank God the Senate lamented on that issue, that attitude by the customs should stop. Why should somebody just carry 3-4 bags of rice and you shot him dead? So I think the opening of the border will settle this food crisis, because there are some persons who may not like it and they are making merchandise. Most of our people cannot go to farm.
All right,
what we are producing is not even enough.
Moses,
so let them open this border.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very
Thank
much.
you. You made your point. Open the borders. Now, Mr. Duru, let's talk about the tuition fees hike. Is one that is biting most Nigerians now. Perhaps, people have said education anywhere is not cheap, and the federal government has maybe Nigerians have been getting, low quality education as a result of how much they've been paying as tuition fees over over the years, and so there's need for us to jack it up now to ensure that Nigerians get quality education and get worth of for the monies that they're paying. What do you make of this argument? Some people, other people say, look, this is not the time for any of these educational subsidies to be removed. Nigerians cannot be paying so much for fuel, paying so much for food and other items, electricity and all, and still be paying too much for education. Some others, on the other hand, people are saying education is not cheap anywhere in the world. What is your what's your argument?
Okay, Prince, this is quite a funny one. You know why I said it's funny? Because yes, we knew growing up that if education is expensive, maybe you should try ignorance, you know. But a situation where your people are hungry, the salary you pay to them cannot even take them to work for 1 month, right? If private institutions are increasing their tuition fees, it is understandable. The hardship being faced by Nigerians is government induced. Going back again to increase tuition fees in government institutions, I mean, I don't understand who is advising the president. I don't understand. We need to find out who is advising the president. You increase the price of PMS, and then you are increasing in fact, you have hiked the electricity rates. I don't know about other people, but in certain areas now, electricity rates have been hiked. And then you are also increasing tuition fees in unity schools, in some government-owned universities. The question is, even the minimum wage of 30,000 naira, some states are not paying up till today. Some states have not adopted it. Now everything has gone up. The question is, where will Nigerians get the income to meet these bills? I was thinking, for instance, since these things have gone up, we could say, okay, for this term or for this period, we will probably go tuition free, so that parents can be able to adjust with the little they have, pending when other palliative measures will be in place. It then seems highly insensitive on the part of the government. What they want is they sniff it out of you, probably all your income, the little they have given to you, and then you remit it back to them. Prince, let me just give you this simple analysis. You are paid a paltry sum as monthly salary, 30,000, right? You gather that 30,000, and for every day of the month, you keep remitting it to drivers because you have to go to work. Those drivers will gather everything and remit it to the filling stations. The filling stations will gather everything, at least up until sometime last week. NNPC was the sole importer of EMS until we had the MRDEB bring in a vessel last week. I don't even think that discharge has started being distributed. So they gather everything and they remit it to NNPC. Now you say you remove subsidy, that we will now have money for other things. Why don't you say, oh, parents, since we have money for other things, this tuition fee that your children are paying, let them hold on with it. We can say, okay, from now till we think or we come up with a lasting solution, this is what we will do. Why go about again increasing tuition fees in unity schools? I'm not talking about private enterprises. I'm talking about unity schools. I mean, this is the height of insensitivity.
All right. Well said. The conversation continues right here. This is Eagles Outlook on your radio experience. You can count on. We'll be talking more. My guest has been Mr. Iberi Duru, an economist and political analyst, joining us in the conversation. Stay with us.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
It's time to spring into action and cash out before our Cape hero flies away in Betway's epic quick game, Super Jackpot. You can enjoy betting up to 2 times per round, auto cash out on your chosen multiplier, and the chance to win up to 10,000 times your bet, up to 200 million naira. Now, that's justice. Take off today at betway.com.ng. No under 18. Bet responsibly.
Get ready for the ultimate voiceover bootcamp experience in Abuja. It's the voiceover bootcamp with pro-Nigerian voice actor Charles Alade, Peter Baker from the UK, Soibi Abbey, Rochelle Simpson, Quincy Son, and Hussein Amiri from Bahrain. Learn everything from scripting for voiceovers and radio ads to voiceover techniques, recording and mixing of voiceovers. Plus, receive a certificate of completion to add to your portfolio. Take advantage of our early bird special for just 30,000 naira, which closes July 8th. Late registration, 50,000 naira. Date, July 29th, 2023. Venue, The Bunker, number 3 at Barra Street, Wuse, Abuja. Time, 9 a.m. prompt. Sign up now. For more information, call 0815-863-9668 or 0813-935-9882. Voiceover Bootcamp. Raising Dynamic Voices.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Appreciate you keeping it with us on your radio experience. You can count on. We'll wrap up the conversation shortly and move on to other aspects of the conversation this morning. My guest has been Mr. Iberi Duru, who is an economist and political analyst, joining us in the conversation. You two can jump in now with your 2 cents. 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, I told them sick. I greet you.
Good morning, Sunday the Prince. Welcome.
Thank you, my brother. You see, Yaracho, there's a lot of problem in this country, and we don't know what we're going to get out of this kind of problem we are in today. So my worry is that when Obasanjo took over from military regime, he hit the ground running, and there was a lot of achievement. When the PDP administration led by Obasanjo hand over to Yar'Adua, we never know there is a change of pattern in this country. Everything was moving smoothly. Obasanjo increased fuel to 75 naira. Yar'Adua bring it back to 62 naira. Yar'Adua went to negotiate with Niger Delta and make grant them amnesty, and life was a kind of good. Within the period this man spent on the sea, life was busy. Nigeria was bubbling. Everything was moving well. And when he died, good luck took over. There was nothing like change of government because it's already PDP-led administration. Everything was going according to the party manifestos. But APC-led administration took over from PDP. They turned the whole thing upside down. The country that was moving ahead, the country was going to Lagos, already in Ondo. The APC now returned the government back to Abuja to start afresh again. Taking back everything as it started. We suffered for 8 years, hoping that when Tinubu come on board, we won't even know that it's a change of battle. Tinubu will, do 1 or 2 touches, and the country will bubble. Tinubu come again and see his own party is a different party entirely, and they are begging us to exercise patience. What kind of patience are we going to exercise when APC has been in government for 8 years? And Nigeria shouldn't have been noticed as a change of government. All you need to do is to do 1 or 2 touches and see the country moving. What I'm asking, what is the secret that made Yar'Adua to reduce poor? But since the Redor left government, since PDP left government, APC has been busy increasing poor, increasing the poor, and they know the source of our economy is fuel and dollar. Once you cannot be able to manage the dollar exchange rate and you cannot be able to control the fuel price, automatically Nigeria are in for it. Because these are two things that make our economy: the dollar exchange rate and the fuel price. Because we are solely importing nation.
All right,
We are not
Sunday,
producing
please.
anything locally here. How can you export for, refine it, and bring it here? Why would the refineries work? I mean, APC administration need to go. They don't have good plans for this country. All they have is
Thank you,
their manifesto is suffering and hardship.
Thank you very much, Sunday.
They need to go. They need to go.
We get you. Thank you very much for calling. And now let's move on. And back to my guest, Mr. Duru. What would be your final submission to Nigerians as it is? The federal government has said Nigerians need to tighten up their belts, and be a little more patient. That things would ease off eventually. How do you see that playing out?
I disagree to appealing to people to be patient. The government should be more reasonable and sensitive to the plight of the people. I think that is what we should be advising the government. Please be more sensitive, be more compassionate. Please have mercy on the plight of the people. That is what we should be preaching now. They've been preaching patience since they came in 2015, and things have continued to spiral out of control. Do you know that what has been done in the last 2-3 months? In the last 2-3 months, yes, in the last 2 months of the Tinubu's administration, we really be felt in the fourth quarter of this year, in the last quarter of this year, because the spiraling effect is still growing. It is going to peak in the last quarter of this year. If the president has a listening ear, please, he should get back to his drawing table and then reverse a lot of these anti-people policies that he's bringing up. This is just my final submission. On the part of Nigerians, please, if focus your spending now on your needs. Try to stay away from your wants. That is just my appeal to them.
Very strong one there. Focus on your needs, move away from your wants. Mr. Emmanuel Duru, Ebere Duru rather, is an economist and political affairs analyst. Thank you so much for spending time with us this morning. We really appreciate your thoughts on the program.
Thank you, Yanacho.
Thank you. And this is where we move on to other aspects of the conversation. Keep it here on your radio experience.